I hope so.
Damn it, Jim.
Ever seen that one video of an Indian minister who's giving a speech? He stops for a moment, takes a drink of water because something's not feeling right. And then about 10 seconds later, he's like, I'm done.
Indian like India? Huh. No. Just had a heart attack or something?
Freaking out. The freakiest thing, his eyes rolled back and he was gone.
Is this for today?
Nope. The only two that we knew of were Tammy
Well,
and
it's always
William.
Joyce.
Yeah.
Of course, those people might show up by the time we get to that point.
Well, there you have
Oh, yeah.
John.
Okay.
Now let's see if you can use the new sheets and not miss a page like I did. Because I was a dorkfish. I guess I'll do prayers.
Oh, that is confusing. Yeah, I might redo that so it doesn't do double-sided.
Yeah,
All right, Ian. Well, at least now I know.
yeah, now you see my problem.
My name is what? My name is what?
Will, young, you're young, you will. You know, there's a Gilbert and Sullivan musical, The Mikado, and there's a character called Yum Yum. And when I was little, my brother's name was Bill, or William. I couldn't say William because I was little. I would call him Wee Yum Yum. Wee Yum Yum.
We yum yum.
Ah, I'm low kids.
Right on. All right. I'm the real Slim Shady. Good evening. I'm Reverend William. Thanks for everyone for taking part in the quiet energy work portion of our service. Your cooperation in creating this sacred space is greatly appreciated. Let's begin this evening service with 3 ohms. Reverend Karen, will you lead us in an opening prayer?
Divine Creator, thank you for overlighting this service on this lovely day. As always, we look to you for guidance as we move through this time in form and seek your wisdom in order to learn the lessons we need to learn to bring us closer to reunification with you. So mote it be.
So mote it be. Please open to the first page of your book, and we will say together the universal greeting. If this is new to you, please watch the service workers to follow along with the interactive hand movements.
I offer you peace. I offer you friendship. I offer you love. I hear your needs. I see your beauty. I feel your feelings. My wisdom flows from a higher source. I salute that source in you. Let us work together.
Turn to the next page, and you will say together the 9 principles of spiritualism.
We believe in infinite intelligence. We believe that the phenomena of nature, both physical and spiritual, are the expression of infinite intelligence. We affirm that a correct understanding of such expression and living in accordance therewith constitute true religion. We affirm that the existence and personal identity of the individual continue after the change called death. We affirm that communication with the so-called dead is a fact, scientifically proven by the phenomena of spiritualism. We believe that the highest morality is contained in the Golden Rule. Whatsoever ye would that others should do unto you, do ye also unto them. We affirm the moral responsibility of the individual, and that we make our own happiness or unhappiness as we obey or disobey nature's physical and spiritual laws. We affirm that the doorway to reformation is never closed against any human soul, here or hereafter. We affirm that the precepts of prophecy and healing contained in all sacred texts are divine attributes proven through mediumship.
Reverend Karen will grace us with an inspired talk.
All right, tonight the meditation is called Breaking Bread, Sharing Wine. It's kind of hard to think about it when we still have pretty toasty days, but we are in fact moving into the cooler part of the year and that harvest time. But part of what happens during the harvest time is a gathering of community. It usually took the entire village in order to bring in everybody's harvest to make sure it got done before things rotted or, spoiled in some way. And there were usually festivals that were held while we had this surplus, and to thank the land or the creator or whatever being or thing that they believed in for providing the bounty that they received this year. So what we're going to do is we're going to picture ourselves at one of those kind of festivals and try to get that sense of community, everybody working towards a common purpose and coming closer with humanity as a whole as we think about those things that we planted in the spring that we are now harvesting the benefits of as we move into the fall.
Thank you. We welcome your donations to help us maintain our presence in the community. You may donate via our website, circleoflightstl.org, or through our Facebook page. For those who use Amazon, please consider using smile.amazon.com and choose Circle of Light Independent Spiritualist Church in St. Louis as your nonprofit. Amazon will give us a small donation and it will cost to you. We also collect donations for the Southwest Indian Foundation, which provides stoves and food baskets to Native Americans during the holiday season. Each year we allocate funds to help them, and if you want to make a donation specifically for SWIFT, just tell us when you donate. Thank you for your donations. All funds received help us in our mission to seek, develop, and teach the knowledge of the relationship between humanity and spirit. And as we said last week, if that's important to you, send us money. Frankly, we have come to the reality has slapped us in the face of how long we could be able to stay here and literally pay the rent. So your contributions will help us stay alive. The crystal globe displayed here is filled with prayer and energy for healing Mother Earth and all her children. Everyone is welcome to contribute prayers for world peace and world healing. We invite you to add your energies to this sacred sharing. We will now say the prayer for spiritual healing found on the next page, after which there will be a short silence for you to softly say the names of anyone that you would like to receive extra healing this week. I ask the great unseen healing force to remove all obstructions from my mind and body and to restore me to perfect health. I ask this in all sincerity and honesty, and I will do my part. I ask the great unseen healing force to help both present and absent ones who are in need of help and to restore them to perfect health.
I put my trust in the love and power of God.
Current announcements.
Hope to see people at Tower Grove Park next Saturday and or Sunday for Tower Grove Pride. We will have a booth there, so come on by and say hello. We'll have our wheel of goodies. Yes.
Free hugs.
Yep. And next thing after that is the Gifts of Spirit, which will be on Saturday, October 22nd. That is a ticketed event. We will have both in-person and virtual tickets available. So those are available right now on the website. We only have the in-person tickets.
We do?
Yep, $25.
I'll have to look at that because I published them both. Maybe
Okay.
I forgot to hit post or something.
Okay.
All right. So the in-person being here, you get to participate in the raffle and the fellowship and etc. Online, you still get messages, and you get to observe other people's messages, but you won't be here for the raffle
Or any of the extra goodies.
or hugs. And I think those are $10. Is it 25 and 10?
Yes.
15? I can't remember.
Those who are here in person will be receiving things like chakra. Well, you'll get those chakra ones, but they're giving out stones. Karen will be doing stones.
Oh yeah, when we actually do the messages, the tarot cards, the stones, the whatever else we do.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So.
And that's October 22nd in the evening.
Correct.
Saturday evening.
Yep.
The next
thing is communion, which is November 27th. The Sunday after Thanksgiving. That's an in-person only.
To participate in communion.
To participate in communion.
Yeah.
Yeah, where we will be sharing bread and mead for that Christed light, and receiving blessings. Everybody who's here in person will receive a blessing from one of the ministers. And then we'll have our solstice dinner, which will be December the 11th. And coming in next year will be the ordination of Karen McFerrin.
Oh yeah,
as a minister
Yep.
In our church. So make your plans for that. I believe that's January the 8th, I think is the date that is chosen for that.
Excellent.
So we'll be having that.
Excellent. Let me tell you about an event I saw on Facebook about mead. Okay, all right. That brings us to thanking you for donations. We thank you for your donations. Reverend Karen will lead us in a prayer over the offering.
You have pure potential from which all abundance comes. Thank you for allowing us this opportunity to give of ourselves in any form. There is no gift that is without merit, and we seek to have all these things be multiplied, all things in a positive way, work towards raising the vibration of humanity as we work towards returning to oneness with you. So mote it be.
So mote it be. That brings us to the message portion of the service. Please actively listen to each message. As these come from universal source via our guides, they may be tailored for the individual, but they deliver wisdom to the whole. Please address questions about messages to the message bearer after the service. To welcome each of our spirit workers, we sing together to raise the vibrations in our circle. We view the word God as a universal term for deity, rather than signifying any one particular path. Our message bearer tonight will be me. Would be appropriate to do prosperity.
That's entirely up to you.
Will you help me remember one?
Om Shri Lakshmi Namaha.
Okay, so you don't have anything to count with, do you?
Not handy. I use my thinners.
You use your fingers? You'll do it?
My
Okay.
thinners.
So in lieu of a song, Reverend Karen is going to lead us in a prosperity mantra.
Okay, we're gonna do 10 of these because I got 10 fingers here. And the mantra is Om Shri Lakshmi Namaha. Lakshmi is the goddess of prosperity. Okay. Om Shri Lakshmi Namaha.
Om Shri Lakshmi Namaha. Om Shri Lakshmi Namaha. Om Shri Lakshmi Namaha. Om Shri Lakshmi Namaha. Om Shri Lakshmi Namaha. Om Shri Lakshmi Namaha. Om Shri Lakshmi Namaha. Om Shri Lakshmi Namaha.
Last one.
Om Shri Lakshmi Namaha. Oh, short and sweet. All right. Thank you very much for doing that. I'm Reverend William. I'll be working tonight. Sarah, Mikael, Thundercloud, Meridian, Arcturus. Released. Tammy C. Okay, they're using the song Slow Ride by Foghat as the background music, and you're on a hayride. You know, the wagon behind the tractor and the straw and everything. And they're saying, as the weather cools, the world literally turns. Honor this season and this cycle like inside you. Slow down. Be a good observer. You know, the hayride's good for socialization, but in this particular picture, you're in there. I just realized you're in there by yourself, and you're just like listening to the tractor engine has this like really nice rhythm as it chugs along slowly, and you look at the trees and the things around you. It's very pleasant. The sun's just setting. It's not like dark and spooky. The sun's just setting. It's really nice, and so that's their advice for you, in the coming weeks. William E. Now that's funny. What do you call that? Autopsy. When you look at what happened. Okay. Autopsy, operating room. So the important thing is, because I'm just a goofy person and I'm a nerd, they have you cutting open this person, it's actually you yourself, and you hear Bones from Star Trek. You know how he would always have something to say about everything. Like he couldn't understand what he was looking at, like damn Klingon anatomy, And so what came to me with this is you are literally like figuratively, in the picture literally, but you're looking inside yourself, and sometimes there's things you don't understand what purpose they serve, like what's this organ for, like you're understanding your own anatomy and physiology, and what Spirit's saying is, frankly, let it go. You're not going to know everything about everything, okay? It's kind of like the old phrase, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Yes, there is value in searching inside yourself. Of course there is, but, don't go down that rabbit hole of analysis and trying to figure everything out. It is not helpful. What is helpful is a holistic approach. Look at the whole machine, the whole body, and see how it's functioning. Joyce. I need to acknowledge that Joyce, I don't know if I've ever told you this, and we've known each other just about as long as I've been in Circle Light, which is like over 20 years. But a lot of times when I focus on you to give you a message, have I ever told you I often see a turtle first, like just a flash? And I don't know if that's like something you relate to, but that happens a lot with you. Okay, so the message for Joyce. We're looking at the way a tattoo is made on the skin, and it looks like it's like little tiny scars, basically, from what they're showing me. And a modern tattoo with a tattoo called a gun. I don't know what they call it.
Yeah,
Little
it's a gun.
gadget. The gadget they do a tattoo with. It's painful. I mean, some people more susceptible to feeling the pain. However, go back to ancient cultures when they did tattoos. It was basically like a little tiny meat tenderizer. Those hammer type of meat tenderizers, and then tap on it, dip in the ink, tap on it. Oh, now that's painful. So why are we showing me this? To know that it's got something to do with ancient traditions. Okay. So we want you to contemplate what you might call the purpose of pain. We often say things like, I learned from this horrible trauma, this horrible experience. We often speak in terms of what we learned from it, okay? If an important lesson is to be learned, then great. If not, then it's just going through the motions or experiencing the pain for no particular reason. Allison, well, that would, they're showing me a train, and, to be more accurate, I hear a train coming. I'm looking down the track. I hear the train that's coming from behind me, and I'm looking at where I'm going to be going. And that song, Train, Train, by Blackfoot, I think, another classic rock song. It's Train, Train. But anyway, it's funny because if you've paid attention to the messages here for any amount of time, you'll know they're 99% symbolic, and we'll always explain. This feels like you're actually going on a trip, like you're and like it's taking you out of town. I really feel like be prepared to jump on the train when this opportunity comes. Now, could be literal, like I'm seeing it, could be symbolic to some extent or another, Allison, like maybe it's not a train, but a plane or something. Of course, that comes to mind. But also, it might be some other opportunity. They want you to be ready to seize that. Sabrina. Well, now that is interesting. You're polishing this metal with steel wool, specifically steel wool. Okay. How do I say that? In your own learning and development, you are I'm just going to use the words I know, see if you understand this. You are learning universal language, that is the symbolic language I just referred to. Some people also equate that with the dream language, the symbolism in dreams. But it looks like Spirit is showing me you are learning that. It might feel to you like you're recalling it, like where did I learn this before? I can't think of where I would have heard this. Well, it was in there. It's not in your physical brain, okay? It's universal. Whether you want to call it a past life or just universal, whatever, same thing basically for the sake of this conversation. But anyway, you're learning this, okay? And you're seeing how this relates to the symbolism in sacred texts like the Bible and in mythology. You're seeing there's an author, Carolyn Mace. That's Carolyn Mace, M-Y-S-S. You might want to look at her. She speaks in terms of what does she call
it? Archetypes.
Well, archetypes, but she calls it symbolic sight. You start seeing the symbolism behind everything, like all around you. You start seeing it in people's behavior, in their faces. You see the causal thought behind things because you're able to see the universal thread through it all. Okay? If you have any questions about that, just let me know. Gabriella. Oh, what was the previous? Sabrina, just message me, okay? Because there's more to this, more about that steel wool and stuff that I want to help you understand. Okay, Gabriella. So I have a guy named Ellen. To make a long story short, her mythology, her story is she helps people see the ley lines, energy lines, and things in the surface of the earth. Okay, to make a longer story very, very short, right? So you have these deer antlers that are like kind of a combination, like you might call an antenna, like a receiving antenna, and kind of like a divining rod, where they're telling you where to look. Okay, so if I were you, I'd be especially observant right now. I would be listening, engaging my senses. I'd be throughout my day as still as possible, giving my attention to like where I'm drawn. Like it's more about your intuition than it is your physical senses, of course. Period. I don't want to. Okay, yes, we're gonna leave it at that. If you have anything, like any interesting experiences, let me know. That's all I want to say. Okay, let's go with Lois. Tanning leather is a pretty long and tedious process. But if you do it right, you can have something that will last a really long time, and all you gotta do is take care of it. Polish it or oil it once in a while. So they're saying that this process you've been going through may seem tedious and like this is taking so long. I gotta tell you, one thing I'm questioning is like why this particular symbolism of tanning leather? Because as the words are coming out of my mouth, I'm thinking like this could be like Tempering steel is an analogy that's often used. Tanning leather. I suggest maybe this will come to you during the meditation today, or some other time soon. But I would look into what I mean is like meditate on the process. I mean, you live your life. I'm not you, but look at how you're being like weatherproofed. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Tom. There's a saying, sometimes done is better than perfect. They'll show you put up a teepee, sun setting, and you're just like, it's perfect. This is beautiful. The sun setting, have these people here around me. And then as you walk around, you see the teepee is not perfect. It's a little off kilter. And you realize you're out of sunlight. You can't redo it. And that's the resolution is done's better than perfect. It's not going to affect the way I sleep. I'm letting the perceived imperfection, I'm letting that go. I'm going to just rest here now. Thank you. So we take this into meditation. I'm sure you know this. You've been doing this a long time. People often speak of terms of like, I have my pillow, my blanket, my chair, these things for meditation. And what would a long-time teacher of meditation tell you? Well, what do you need all that stuff for? Just sit down and meditate. So whatever you've been like honing in yourself, trying to get perfect, might be a good time to let that go for now and just sleep for the night. Reverend Karen. I can't wait to see where this is going. You have all these sponges. And the first one is Sponge Bob, then it's Sponge Dan, and Sponge Julie. Like they'll have first names, like just regular old names. And you're just you're getting a kick out of doing this. This is hilarious. You are noticing how people soak stuff up unconsciously. They, like people around you, just absorb everything without filters, and that explains why they are the way they are. And as you are naming off and there's like dozens of them, these sponges, you are realizing it's not your job to rinse them out. You know what? That is really interesting symbolism. So not only am I going to, rinse myself out, take care of my own stuff that I've accumulated, I'm going to change myself so I'm not a sponge. Like, duh. Like, as you're looking around, you're like, man, this has been fun, but y'all are on your own. So good for you. Okay. All right. Thank you for allowing me to stand between the worlds. Meditation this evening with Reverend Karen.
Okay, so find yourself a comfortable position. Man, if I was at home, I might even be lying down. But any way that you can get that energy to move through in an unobstructed way. Go ahead and take a deep breath and exhale, letting your body relax. Just concentrate on your breath for a moment, breathing in and out. Letting yourself come to a point of stillness within you that allows you to look outside yourself. You find yourself walking outside. It's a lovely day, just a little bit cool. Sun is shining. You hear in the distance very rhythmic sounds. As you walk towards those sounds, they become louder and more distinct. You find yourself in a group of people. You may not necessarily know all these people, although you may know some, but they are working in harmony to harvest things. Some of them are pulling carrots and potatoes. Some of them are picking fruit from trees. Some of them are harvesting wheat. And by moving in a rhythm, it allows them to do it efficiently and together. One of the people beckons to you and hands you a basket. And you go to the area which seems to need your assistance the most. And you fall into rhythm with them, whether it is using a small tool to cut lettuce, or pulling up onions, or threshing the wheat, or picking the fruit. As you move in this rhythm, it becomes sort of hypnotic. You realize that this is the culmination of the work that everybody there, including you, have put in during the course of this year. When you look into your basket, you realize there are things in there that you planted in the spring. They have now come to their full maturity. And you are reaping the rewards of the work that you've put in. You're also helping people reap the rewards of the work that they have put in. There are many things that one can plant, but they cannot grow by themselves without the assistance of others. You may have had a business plan that required the help of others. You realize that you are part of a whole community of people who are all working towards their higher goals. Even though those goals are different, unique to each person, they have particular significance to each person, and they are all oriented towards the greater growth of each person, and therefore the greater growth of the community, of humanity, of the earth. You continue to move into the rhythm, and it almost becomes like a dance. You harvest, it goes in the basket. You harvest, it goes in the basket. Before you realize it, it is dancing. And you are dancing, and you are dancing, and the sun starts to go down. Suddenly there are fires lit, and you realize that you have moved from the work to the enjoyment of what the work has brought you. There are stews on the fire. There are bowls of fruit. There are glasses of mead and wine. There are people dancing, people eating, people laughing, people enjoying being in the presence of others. There is a sense of accomplishment and satisfaction that comes with having put in a good day's work and having a lot to show for it. You find a place to sit. You are offered a bowl of food. You eat, you drink, you talk. You talk about what you've accomplished. You talk about your plans for what you'll accomplish next year now that you've gotten these goals accomplished. Listen in to the conversations that you hear around you and see what it is that comes to mind for you for in the future. The moon slowly rises in the sky, It has become a little chillier. Someone wraps a blanket around your shoulders. No one needs to tell them that you needed a little extra warmth. It's just understood. There is a knowing and helping one another without having to be asked. As the fires begin to die down, people start to use what is left of the fire before they extinguish it to light torches so they can see their way home. Everybody has a basket with a variety of things in it, the products of the work: bread, fruit, vegetables, sausages, wine, things that can be canned, stored for the lean times to come. You too take a torch and begin to make your way back down the path that brought you there in the first place. Taking that warm feeling with you. You feel your physical form call to you. You return to it, feeling it around you, but you continue to maintain that warm feeling of satisfaction for what you've done this year. When you find yourself fully seated in your form, you may feel the urge to move. And when you're ready, open your eyes.
Would you delete a closing prayer?
Sure. Creator of all that is, we thank you for all that we have accomplished this year with your assistance. As we harvest those things, we consider how to make best use of them and make our plans for the upcoming year filled with the optimism that has served us so well this year. Amen.
Amen. Thank you all for being in our circle of light. Please stand with us in unity as we stand together. Let there be peace on earth. And mashed potatoes, too. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there meant to be. With God as creator, family all are we. Let me walk with my family in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every breath I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.